There, burgers are ready. Oh, gotta put some salt over the shoulder and blind the devil. Ha! Alright. Hello everyone and welcome to the Recent Review. Today we're going to be taking a look at set number 71313, Lava Beast. The set contains approximately 114 pieces, was released in the spring to summer of 2016, and during time of release was approximately $15. Now before we get into the review, let me get my disclaimer out of the way. Just because there are pros and cons in this video doesn't necessarily mean they're my personal opinions. I do my best to keep these reviews as objective as possible, and as such, any and all comments are either community opinions, or objective facts about the set I can represent on camera. So please, unless I explicitly say so, do not assume that they are my personal opinions. Okay? Great. Also, special thanks to our moderator, Political Slime, for sending me these sets. He not only bought them for me, but sent them on their way to me as quickly as possible. Of course, I paid him for it, and I greatly appreciate it. Now then, on to the review. So Lava Beast is one of the generally better received sets of this wave. We can see here he's kind of like the Tahu counterpart, and we'll get into that more in a moment. First, let's go over recolors. Right out the gate, we actually do have a recolor. We have two recolors. First one being these sword pieces. We can see that the orange tips, they're kept. However, we now have a black base, so they look really evil and menacing, kind of like they've been blackened with soot. The other recolor we have is actually the headpiece. Now this is the original headpiece that we've had and got in 2015, however now it's a transparent lime, as I like to call it. Otherwise, I don't really know. Because it's bone pieces and I stupidly don't do my research on those, I'm not sure if any of the bone components are new recolors, however I doubt it. Moving on into new pieces, we have the jaw piece in gunmetal, and a lot of people actually really do not like this piece. There isn't a whole lot of functionality to it. It kind of just sits there and makes the beast look like it's opening its jaw, but it can never close its jaw. Not really, at least. We also have the new armor shell piece, and this is kind of like a new piece slash recolor situation here, because it's a new piece, however it's also in a different color. It's in what LEGO technically calls transparent brown, but it really looks like more of a transparent black, and it's a very smoky color. A lot of people really like its placement in there because it looks like smoke just rising off of the creature. We also have the new mask piece, and this is very broad. It looks kind of like a squished version of Umarak's mask, and it looks kind of charcoaly, and then it fades off into transparent orange. And, you know, it's been somewhat well received. And aside from that, there aren't really a whole lot of new pieces. I did forget to mention on the recolors, however, that we do have technically a new recolor. We have Tahu's Mask of Fire, and it's the red version. However, instead of being melded with silver, it's melded with transparent light green. Now this is really interesting, because as opposed to his standard red Kanohi Mask of, G1 terms, his original red Mask of Fire, this one is actually a lot brighter. It's a lot more of a solid, consistent red. The other one was darkened because of the silver. It looked more like Heinz ketchup, but this one looks a lot more like a pure CCBS red, and it kind of tapers off into this bright green. And I'll go ahead and throw this up on screen. There is Tahu wearing the mask. Now, I would show you the mask on the beast, however, because of the beast's head construction, it won't fit. So, sorry. I tried. Let's get on to functionality. Now, right out the gate, it's got two primary functions, or technically three. First of all, the gear function on the waist, and we've seen this before earlier on in the year, so that has not changed. We also have on the hands these giant blades. Now what you do, you take the large gear and you turn that, and the blade on top of the wrist, that will move. The other one is centered. This actually works really well, and it's great for posing. There's really a whole lot you can do with it. Kind of looks almost like scissors, in a way. But a lot of people really like it. It flows very well to color scheme, and it works really nicely. And also on the hands, this hand construction, the fingers, top two fingers do move, and it's really good for posing, and it can, to an extent, hold the mask. However, the thumb does not move, much to the dismay of many in the community. Moving upwards still, we have the headpiece. Now what you do here, the jaw, remember how I said it can't move? Well, it still can't. However, if you press it upward, the entire contraption will go up and it'll pop the mask off. Story-wise, we don't know anything about this beast at the time of this recording. However, I guess it's going to come into play. I'm not sure. So if you basically just flick it upward, the mask should fly off. As far as the build is concerned, it's not exactly the most innovative build. Like, the handpieces, the weapons, they're really cool. And the legs are unique. However, some people do not like the legs because despite the fact they do look kind of chickeny or triple jointed, they are still kind of strange because they have the handpiece, or the former G1 handpiece, holding onto this Glatorian neck and kind of separating it. Similar issue to Liwa of earlier this year. People don't like how that kind of knee joint sticks out a whole ton. Another point of confusion with the legs is that the lower legs are actually the burnt orange we see on Polhatu. Now that color isn't found anywhere else on this set. However, I've understood that some people actually don't mind it, because if you look on his feet, those claw pieces, they're a darker shade of orange than his upper torso. So it actually does kind of look like it's just a transparent version of the burnt orange. And to a degree, it actually works out very well for the set and keeps that color consistency rather, well, consistent. The upper torso is rather standard fare. We do have the CCBS beam, and we have that new piece. And it is kind of a custom build. However, on the back, there isn't a whole lot of armor. It's very gappy. Same thing from the side. There are a lot of gaps there. And he has kind of a tall neck. His overall head design, while it does look rather unorthodox, it still does work. The gunmetal isn't exactly out of place considering his head construction, the new piece, and the pelvic piece. However, it is kind of just there to be there, because otherwise he'd be the only beast without a Shadow Trap piece. So really, that's about it. There's not a whole lot to talk about with Lava Beast here. Some people, I guess I can mention, do like his chest printing. It looks very lava-y, which I guess works for his name. And overall, the set does have a very molten, kind of spewing, lava-y, kind of smoking appearance to him, especially with those new shell pieces. He does pull that look off very well. However, he also looks kind of like a mix between a chicken and a demon, so I'm not personally sure what they were going for here. However, he seems to be rather well received, and the overall build, it's decent, it's nothing out of this world, but the look is pulled off quite nicely. So that about wraps up the review for Lava Beast. Our personal TGV recommendation is that, yeah, go ahead and get this guy. He's cool. He has a decent look, he has an excellent color scheme, the red axles actually blend in really nicely here, and the blue pins, they're only 2, and you can kind of cover those up with the sword pieces, so they're not very intrusive. The gear functions are all working very nicely, and I'm sure someone somehow can figure out a use for that jaw piece. So yeah, we do recommend you pick this setup. And that about covers it. What do you guys think of Lava Beast? Do you like him? Do you like one of the others more? Feel free to let me know either in the comments below or on the TTV message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.